Hello everybody and welcome to another unboxing video. So unboxing and installation video of this thing. The R9 Nano, EKFC R9 Nano, and that's the wrong side, and the R9 Nano backplate, which after unboxing it, I'll also install the card, install the Waterblock on the card. So I've already opened it to check that everything's here, and we're gonna start with the backplate because that sits on the back. I have no good reason for starting with the backplate really, but I'm going to do so. Let's get a good view of the table here. So screws for installation. These are a bit longer than what come with the Waterblock because you need that extra distance to install the backplate. Now if we open it, installation manual, and unlike what you would usually do, you should read this. If you fuck up, it's gonna be expensive. Down here, some thermal pads, that's gonna be important. Two sides, doesn't matter which way you install it, I believe. And here's the real thing. There it is. Wrong way. Look at this shiny piece. You can see my screen, sort of. So that's the R9 Nano backplate, and as you can see here, it's got grooves and such in it. So on here, behind the die, and I believe here, you will put on thermal pads to help somewhat with passive cooling, because these cards are passively cooled. Or no, correction. These cards aren't passively cooled, but the backplate helps with passive cooling of the R9 Nano back VRMs, because it has some VRM parts in the back. And I won't be installing that right now since I don't have the guard with me now. I'm still busy doing some backups before I take the computer down. It'll be no time for you guys though, but now I do it wrong way all the time. R9 Nano Waterblock. There we go. Wrong way. Ta-da! Manual, again, read it. Not once, not twice, read it 3 times. That should be enough. Here we have some thermal pads, and let's just open this. And a single slot backplate. So R9 Nano, some R9 Furies, and R9 Fury X can be converted to a single slot card. I believe reference RX 480 can do so as well, because AMD has, on reference cards, they're cutting out the DVI slot. The hardware, except for the slot itself, is still there, but the slot itself is gone. We have some screws. Let's see. Here's the thermal paste, which is some EK-TIM Ecotherm, which is non-conductive. Important that thermal paste isn't conductive. And here you have an Allen wrench, I believe they're called. Allen wrench. And I don't know if you can see, but there's some tiny screws and there's some washers in as well, and 2 plugs, which come with the card, so you don't have to buy extra if you're buying a EK card. And here itself, I haven't opened this bag yet. Let's put this away a bit. So on here, it says, if broken, please check contents. So I haven't broken it yet. So let's break it. Open. Let's pull it out. Here we go. It's a tight fit. That's what she said. I'm taking it by the edge since I don't want any finger marks on the front yet. So I have the Asus one. As you can see, it's black. Once you go black, you never go back. Here's the ports for the tubing, fittings I mean. This is where the power connector sits. So the I/O is over here. And here we have the GPU block itself. With VRM cooling, I believe here. I need to read the manual to double check. And of course the GPU core itself. And unlike regular Waterblocks, there isn't anything special for the VRAM, since the VRAM is right there where the GPU block is, or GPU is. And here we have a little seal which says that it's leak tested. So this shouldn't leak, emphasis on shouldn't. If it does leak, you can RMA it. EK will gladly replace it. So everything I believe is in here. So as soon as my computer is done backing up, I shall return. And it's gonna be the same video, so you guys don't have to worry. And I will be finally, let's move this up. I will finally be water cooling my R9 Nano. It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to it. I've been waiting for this for so long. I actually chose the R9 Nano over a GTX 970 ITX version due to the water cooling possibility of the R9 Nano, since with the GTX 970 ITX version, your only option is a universal block. And due to me, how I have my water cooling setup, I need a... Am I messing this up? Oh yeah, I'm messing it. Yeah, anyways, I need a ITX card, simply due to how I have the water cooling setup, and I don't want to change it. That's the deal. Oops, sorry about that. That's the deal. So, hence, ITX card, the R9 Nano, it's water cooled. Looking forward to finally getting it underwater after owning the R9 Nano about a year. So yeah, I will be right back. Okay, welcome back. So my PC is still busy, but I thought I'd install the thermal pads on the backplate. So I have the manual here, so that I don't fuck up. Be sure to read the manual closely, because it'll say exactly where you want to put the thermal pad. So I want thermal pad here, and these are not pre-cut for the backplate. So that's about there. And there is a bit extra, I believe, so that if you fuck up, that is about right. And now we just get the width right. About there. I hope I don't mess this up. So I'm using my nails as indicator on where to cut. And on these, it's hard to see, but there's plastic film, which you remove. So, and then you can, and these are sticky. There we go. That is one. Ooh, I think I'm coming down with a cold. And now for, so this is for the VRM, I believe, if I got this right. And this here is for the die, for the back of the GPU die. And it's going to go about that much, if I see it correctly. Yep, so use my nail to indicate where to cut. Oh yeah, definitely coming down with a cold. There we go. And again, move the plastic film. You can see that there, which actually provides quite a bit of rigidity, so it becomes very floppy as soon as you remove it. And then we put it there. There we go. So I'm not removing this dark blue bit yet, because and I believe if I see it right, we can add this bit. But I'm not removing the dark blue bit yet, because it'll provide some... it's going to stay there until I put it on the GPU itself. Or not the GPU itself, but the graphics card. There we go. That should be about right if I see correctly. So this will provide some passive cooling for the back of the GPU die and the VRM. Since the R9 Nano has two, and I have some extra there. The R9 Nano has two VRM both on the back side and the front side due to the size of the GPU or the graphics card. But yeah, be right back. Welcome back. I've removed the screws already since they were a pain to get out. But let me just get a screwdriver to point something out. Right here, I believe that's the low side MOSFETs, which is why we had those, part of the reason why we had those thermal pads on the backplate. But anyways, I already have the screws, and these here, which connect to a backplate kind of thing, you wanna, at the very least, you wanna remove those in a cross pattern, which you should do with all PC parts. First you loosen that one, then you loosen that one, then you loosen that one, then you loosen that one, and repeat until all the screws are out. But anyways, now that that's done, we remove the cooler, and we remove the fan, which can be hard. Maybe wiggle it a bit. Okay, there we go. Sorry for all of the interruptions. This is a bit more of a pain than I expected. But anyways, here we have the GPU die. There, from a place. And you have the HBM modules. There. We'll take a close look. And here's some old thermal pads. Let's just remove that since we're gonna need to remove that anyways. Some dust there. We'll take care of that with some alcohol, which we have here. You should use some isopropyl alcohol for cleaning. Take some tissue or some lintless cloth. I'm using toilet tissue here. I also have some Q-tips, which will also be useful. So you use the Q-tips for the finer details and the toilet cloth or the toilet tissue or the toilet paper, as some people call it, to remove the GPU from the GPU die. And then it's important that you use alcohol and not water, since alcohol is good at removing things and it is a conductive heater and it evaporates quickly, so you won't be in any risk of damaging the GPU or any other part for that matter. There's a reason alcohol is used for cleaning of electronics. It even says so on this bottle, for use in cleaning electronics, which this is. We've almost cleaned the GPU die. As you can see, it's shiny. Okay, so that's the GPU die cleaned, and the HBM, you can see it's reflective. However, there's still some in between on the interposer, which wouldn't hurt to remove, so let's take the Q-tip, put some in bottle. Not a lot, just enough so that I can soak the Q-tip a bit. And let's go ahead on the interposer, which you need to be careful with because I've heard that it is rather fragile. And you don't want to damage your €500, €600, or whatever you paid for your card. Or if you're one of the guys in the States who got the card for less than $200, which for a Fury, just all I have to say to those guys is fuck you and your American prices. We don't really get those kinds of sales here in the Netherlands or Europe in general. Europe is kind of
yeah. Europe is Europe. You don't see me complaining too much though. I'm happy with my card. I got it on Black Friday sale, like 25% off at the time. Granted, regular price of the R9 Nano is what the sale price was then, but I'm running out of Q-tips. I should go get some more. But we're almost finished here. I might not be doing the best job of cleaning the die. Okay, and let's take some toilet paper, and I need more Q-tips, but I don't think I needed more for the GPU. I think the GPU is clean enough. That the interposer has some thermal paste on it left, I don't think is that important. However, it is important that the GPU doesn't have thermal paste left on it, because we're gonna apply some new one from EK. Okay, there we go. It's not the cleanest job, but it's done. And you can clearly see the HBM modules. I believe it's like 580 square millimeter die. And I just realized something. Let's just clean off this Q-tip somewhat. And let's get rid of some of the dust. There we go. Now let's go take a look at the instruction manual. What does it say next? So we are skipping the part of the backplate since I can't get the screws out. It'll probably be fine. Okay, so let's begin with the thermal pads. Got a scissors. Got one set of thermal pad. Another. Also, this is what the IO shield looks like for the water-cooled one. I wish I could use it. It looks sleeker, but you know, I won't complain. So, let's see, where do you want thermal pads? Let's see, are these all the same thermal pads? Yes, and I just noticed that I'm going to need some more Q-tips, so I'll be right back to get them. I am back, so the reason why I got more is because, don't know if you can see, I'm gonna turn on the light, maybe that'll help. It didn't. But anyways, yeah, you can kind of see, it's blurry though, I don't know how to focus with this. There's some gray spots on here. And that's some leftover thermal pads, I believe. Those thermal pads are old and... or it's thermal paste, I don't know. But it's old and it cracked up and... the thermal pads, that is. I also noticed that on the... on the VRM here. I believe that's part of the VRM. There we go. So let's do that same thing here. And that's most definitely thermal pad left over. There we go. That's another Q-tip wasted. Now we're ready to install thermal pads. So I believe a trick was to use the fact that these thermal pads are kind of squishy, so you can't see it, but there's indentation in there which indicates where I should cut, and then I can cut it to size. Struggle to remove the backing, and I forgot about the width. Well, it'll probably be fine. There we go. That's one. I don't think you can use the same trick here. So let's just do what I did with the back plate. About there. And use my fingernail. Then we pop that on there. For cooling, that's the VRM, or part of it. Now we're going to need some smaller squares. Let's cut down this a bit. Perfect. Maybe a bit big. Is this big enough? It's too small. I'd rather have it too big so that it covers everything than too small and it overheats. Since I am going to be overclocking this. Perfect. Well, a bit too big, but like I said, better a bit too big than too small. I think. This is the first time I'm doing this, so a bit of a disclaimer. Go. And is this big enough? Yes, it is. Let's cut that in two. And we do have to put on there, yeah. And then that's big enough for that. There we go. And here we have the other. It's very small. I'm not going to point it out on the camera because you won't be able to see it. And that goes on the VRM right there. I believe it's part of the VRM as well. Is there anything I'm forgetting? There, these two, these two. Okay, let's see. Let's get out the back plate as well, because soon we're going to come to the step about installing the back plate, and some screws needs to be omitted. It says in the manual which ones. So just have it out so that I have an idea. So now let's get the thermal paste on. Some Tim EcoFirm. And EK advises that you do an X. So oops, I might have done a bit too much there. It just flew out. But it is better to have too much thermal paste than too little, even though in theory If you put too much thermal paste, it'll act a bit as an insulator, since, well, thermal paste does have lower thermal capacity. It has lower heat transfer than, say, copper, or any metal for that matter. It is still better than air, so in practice it won't make too much of a difference. Now let us remove the blue backing. Come on. I should probably have done it the other way, removing the blue backing first, rather than the clear one, since I am struggling here. Okay. Especially the big ones. Small ones are going to be a pain. Be right back again. Okay, so I'm an idiot, but I've got the water block on here. So what you want to do is you want to line it up to the slots, then you want to flip it over, and if you have a 2-slot card, I don't know if that's the case with the stock one, you want to keep it hanging over the box. That's why I have the box here, so that it can sit there fine. And then let's take the backplate. Let's line it up, see which slots I don't need. Okay, so it's the one in the corners. And then we find the screws and the washers. Let's see. We want one there. And let's pop these into the bag before I lose them. It seems that there's a lot of extra screws here. And there's also some screws for the I/O shield, I think. Which, of course, is a step we're skipping today. Because, well, we can't get the original one out, which is a bother, but it should, in theory, not matter at all. I think I lost a couple of washers. And another one. There we go. I should really have a magnetic tray. Okay, they fell on the floor. I'll go looking for them later. Oh, and this screw. So now that that's done, let's get the back plate, which goes like... Oh, wait. I'm an idiot. Is this one small enough? Yes, it is. Let's screw in the screws. In a kind of cross pattern. Wait, there wasn't supposed to be a screw there, was there? No. Okay, oops. There isn't a screw hole there, at least. Screw in that one. Screw in that one. Sometimes I love magnetic screwdrivers. Other times they are literally the worst. It's nice when you're unscrewing, but it's not always as nice when you're screwing in. That one's tightened, right? Yes, that one's tightened. That one isn't. But there isn't supposed to be one there. Tighten that one. Tighten that one. And of course you don't want to tighten them too hard, just kind of hand tight, I would consider. So if you put a light force on it and it doesn't move, it's good enough. So just gonna check all of the screws. There we go. And now let's mount the back plate. Which goes like so. Before I forget, you know, remove the blue backing. It's important that the blue backing is off, because otherwise it'll act as even more of an insulator. Which again, technically, compared to the other metals in a computer, thermal pads also act as insulators. However, again, it's the case of they transfer heat a lot better than air, so compared to air, it is a conductor, so it's a good thing to have. There we go. Now we can line the screw holes and everything. And does it say? It does not say anything about using washers. So I'm going to assume that those are unnecessary. But hey, you know what they say about assuming? It makes an ass out of you and me. Except of course you guys won't notice any of it. I have to say, these EK backplates are sexy. It's just a solid black. Gonna fit perfect in my build. There's the screwdriver. Screw that in a bit. And we screw that in a bit. Oops. I screw that back in a bit. Then that. Okay, that one's good. Again, it doesn't need to be too tight here. That one's good. And that one's good. So, this has been a bit of a long video, but you know I don't do short videos. And that's it installed with the default. That, anyhow. And I won't remove those yet, but you can remove the protection. Okay, I'm going to remove the one on the front side just to show you. And ta-da! And that's the front. That's the back, which we'll be seeing all the time. Like, it'll be sitting like this in the computer. So yeah. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This was a bit longer, but anyways, if you like this, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.